Hi everyone, welcome to Coffee with Cam. I'm Corrine Stephanie, the host of this YouTube series, Coffee with Cam. In today's interview, I had the opportunity to sit down with Kenny Mandel. Kenny has an astonishing 25-year career as a sales professional. However, during the course of this interview, I was completely taken for a loop because where Kenny started his career is not at all where he has arrived to. So I welcome you guys to view today's interview with Kenny Mandel, sales professional extraordinaire here in the Montreal and Quebec region. You can reach Kenny on LinkedIn. His information will be in the comments section. And I invite you guys to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Welcome to Coffee with Cam. Where did you get started?
First of all, everybody who says that they started their career from somewhere, it was a tangent. First of all, I wanted to own a nursing home, Corrine. So I studied nursing in Dawson College. And I started my nursing career and I said, yeah, let me just I want to open a nursing home. I always had that entrepreneur spirit to open up a nursing home. So I did my nursing in Dawson College. And after the third year, my first patient passed away during your family visited. And I said to myself, and then I said to my wife, do I really want to be nursing after this? What happened? It's just it happened like that. I was really reflecting upon everything. I moved in with my wife in a condo in Côte-Saint-Luc, and Staples opened up. Staples Bureau and Growth store 153 in Côte-Saint-Luc. So I said to my wife, well, I'm in university after college in my nursing degree. Let me just go into social business and just look to see what I'm going to do in the future. And I started working at Staples, and my sales bug started happening. So I was the aisle captain at Staples in Côte-Saint-Luc, and that's where my sales career started, basically.
I'm my mouth is literally...
Because I never told you.
I never expected. It explains so much.
Mm-hmm.
It explains so much just because I know you.
Mm-hmm.
But I never knew that.
Yeah, Mrs. Kaczynski was the patient, and that really changed my whole life story. I said yes, I love the elderly, and when I'm 60, 65, maybe I'll invest in nursing home. So my whole tangent of compassion to people and understand people comes from my nursing, and then the business comes from Staples, starting in Staples. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Staples.
Yes. So there's the Staples. Here it is. So Staples, you have to make a living. You're recently, you're living with your wife at the condo before you buy a house, before you invest in a condo in before you buy a house.
Yeah.
So you're there at Staples and you have the itching bug. People come to you, the manager, sir, I think you're very good with people. I think you should go on the road after 2 years. I said, yeah, no, but I'm not comfortable on the road. I'm in the store, I'm selling aisle captain. I'm here selling furniture at Staples. No, sir, come with the catalog and go outside and just sell. I said, seriously? Okay. I took the catalog, I went door to door and I said, hi, my name is Kenny from the Staples department, from the industrial section. Here it is. Are you just knocking on doors while people are having coffee? And it was sort of like selling insurance. So I started being comfortable because I'm on the road doing my own, flexibility, but it also wasn't calls where you schedule calls.
Yeah.
It was just knocking on doors. So yes, you have to gain experience in something in terms of sales people. So I said to myself, selling Staples, I saw an ad in the paper for White Paper Company. It's a gentleman out of Vancouver named Michael Shane. So he opened up a store of white paper in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. He buys from Costco, he buys paper from Costco and from the mills, and he sells it to lawyers and different types of people. So he says, I want to do the same concept in Montreal. So I said, okay, let me interview for this particular position. There was 5 interviews that day, I remember. I said to them, I come from the paper industry, Staples, for 2 years. Maybe I don't have the experience to run a company in Montreal. I got the interview, I did the whole passing, I got the job. So I started White Paper Company in Montreal. So I was in my condo with my wife on Kingsley, calling on lawyers. Hi, my name is Kenny from White Paper Company, and I just want to sell you paper. That's it, that's all. With a phone, just like here, Cammy. So with a phone like this, and just calling on customers to sell paper. That's it, that's all. So after 250 accounts opened in a year and a half, from the phone, just like that, I got a call from a competitor. Reader's Digest called. They're saying to my boss, Mr. Shane, you have this salesperson calling on the phone with no overhead, and we're not spending money. Meanwhile, my salespeople are on the road. It's not very fair. So he said, maybe you're right. So for the industry and the competition, so he said, we'll have to open up a warehouse. So Kenny, you're doing very well. You're opening up a business, but the competition is calling and knocking on our doors that it has to be the fair game in paper. Okay. So I had to look for a warehouse. We went to LaSalle. I did my whole research. I found, I had to go ask how much square foot for all this, the whole business aspect. I found a warehouse in LaSalle. I forgot the street now because it was a long time ago, but it's in LaSalle, a warehouse. We started having, I was in charge of the whole, I guess he actually funded me, and I was like running a company on my own, which was an amazing experience starting up in sales.
Yeah.
Right after university. So that's what happened. So that's how my career started.
I think I'm still just blown away. I am like seriously blown away, Kenny.
Because I know, like, I've been selling all kinds of things, so it's like it's just literally like I'm like started my career, and it's a great experience, a great history, and what I could speak about exactly.
But it's so interesting, and that's exactly when we started Coffee with Cam, was to show people's career histories like yours, that you started in something completely over here, completely different realm, that, the only link that I would be able to see between sales and nursing is, the customer service aspect. Exactly. And the empathy and the compassion and understanding. So for sure you were able to use that in your sales, and it made you successful.
Absolutely, because exactly the point you're saying, Corinne, is because when you're with a customer, you immerse yourself in their needs. It's like you're putting yourself in their position, and as a nurse, you do exactly the same thing. It's very, very just concentrating on the customer service experience, and exactly that's what I love. What I do, I build relationships very easily, and it's lasting because you're there for them only, and it's exactly right.
It's just linking. And then, so now, fast forward to today, what are you doing today?
So I work for a company which I'm so excited about, Innovative Surface Solutions. We're a de-icing company. We've been around for 35 years in Ontario. It's a family-owned business. Greg Bond is the patriarch of the family. He started this, like I said, 30 years ago with filling potholes on the road called Pro Patch. The first product, he started with Pro Patch, which is it's a pot filler, it's a cold mix asphalt repair, where you put in and you just fix the holes on the road. And then you thought of safety as well, meaning safety for the road user, like you and me, like riding on the street. You need to have safety a lot. So he was starting with surface solutions, meaning liquids and different types of products that will be better usage for maintenance for the winter and summertime. So we started with liquids in terms of magnesium and liquids in terms of calcium, and that's what we're in now. So what I do, I represent the company here in Quebec, and I go to public tenders, and I do the municipalities and to commercial users, and I sell de-icing solutions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so interesting, and it's so important, like you said, the safety aspect. And I got to see your product, so
that's right.
I'm going to put a link to show everybody, and I'm like so excited about this. It's very interesting, the different companies that you've gone, like that you have represented and that you have been able to grow your career, So what does, say, the next 2 years? We look at 2-year blocks. I never put the 5-year because
that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. Now we look at 2-year block. What does that look for you?
And you know what you said, that's an excellent point. As a salesperson now these days, I've noticed a lot in the recruiting industry as well. It's really they're really looking for territory managers, whatever it's called, because every title is a solution provider, territory manager, sales rep. I believe as long as you build a relationship with the customer, that's your position. You're a solution provider. So that's it. And for the next 2 years, I think I'm gonna stick around here because I love what I do. I love building this territory of Quebec. It's a challenge because Quebec is different territory than Ontario, than any part of Canada. And after being in sales for 25 years here in the province, I could certainly understand and respect the fabric of the province. So I want to just build up more and build up also like, teaching people. And what's hard about, like, in terms of what's a challenge in sales? Going to all these municipalities who've had these foremen who's been there for 30, 40 years, and you have to change a lot of their ways of using products, because they've used to salt, they're used to other products that they use, and you have to respect their wisdom, their experience.
Yeah.
And you're coming in as a territory manager and trying to say, this is actually very good, but you have to do it in a certain way that will teach them and also, work together.
Exactly, and show them the new product, because the product that you have now is not what we're used to using.
That's right. Salt has been around. Salt is just regular salt.
Yeah.
Salt. But now salt doesn't do a lot for over a certain temperature. And that's why in our industry we say there's a bit of, you need to have some diversified products. Not only salt, maybe magnesium, maybe other products, because I respect my competition as well. But as long as you use other, because you have to be changed according to the climate. Climate change is real, and you have to change according to climate change.
So then you guys were able to create this product in order to complement the changes of the climate.
That's right.
Wow. So let's go back to your career. Your passion obviously is sales. Your passion is people, 1,000%.
1,000%.
What do you think is the best advice that you can give to somebody coming into the market?
Great question. Great, fantastic question. Give everything you have in terms of your knowledge to them. So for example, when even I have a competitor coming to me, just give them everything, being transparent. That's the biggest key I've learned in 20 years. And I'm willing to say to any salesperson in the world, with your knowledge, just be transparent. Give everything you have, even if you have those secrets under your sleeves and you have those, after 20 years, I'm not going to share this. Share everything you have, because once you let the person, you teach the people coming in, like in the industry, at least you know that you're in good hands. And being transparent, people see you, customers see you. When you come through the door and you have other people who are bashing you, and you come in and you just talk respectful about your product and you say, that's what I sell, people see right through them. So to answer your question, transparency, I think, is the key to being a very successful at what you do.
Wow. You know what? It's interesting that you say that, because a lot of people are so quick to hide and say, oh no, these are my trade secrets, this is what, whereas you're taking a completely different approach, completely different. Like, no, I will give you all the information.
And then you decide for what you have. You have it in front of you, here you go, okay, this is what I am, this is who I am, you decide for it. And that's how you make your decision. Because it used to be the old saying 10 years ago in sales, you used to come in, this is, it's good. But customers now see through everything. So if you're transparent with them right away, okay, you know what, I have a choice to make. This guy was very good, I have all the information that says, I'm going to pick this person because he gave me everything he had.
That you were able to. Wow. And out of everything that you have done, what's the most, besides your nursing, in sales, really, what's the biggest thing that you've overcome, the biggest challenge?
I have to say, more than even sales, it would be community. And that's what I like the most. Like, in time of need, you remember here, Corinne, when there was the floods here? So I told my bosses, I'm going to take a little break from work, because these communities are more important than my work at this moment, and they understood it. So while I was there sandbagging and helping other people, I've seen other foremen of different municipalities there, and I got to know them while we're sandbagging, and we're saying, hi, you work for City of Dorval and Lachine and Dorval and Dollar and everything, and we're getting to know each other in the time of need as community. So I love that. So I told my boss that, and he said, yeah, actually, the transport minister, Monsieur Garneau, he was actually running for leadership, but he was sandbagging with me. And we just met and we just talked to people. They didn't care if they were, the presidents of companies or not. And that's how I would say, to answer your question, I love the most of it, because our company understands the community, and when it's work is work and play is play, it's very important. So that's probably the most of a community, and I'm very involved in community when things like that happen, because you have to stick together.
But you're very involved in community just in general.
In general.
You do a lot for the community. So that's going to lead to my next question for you. You're like, oh no, she's going to say.
I know what you're going to say.
You do know what I'm going to say. And would you ever run
Yes,
for?
I would run for city council, but not for mayor. Because mayor, I find very responsibility. I do have young children, and I think at a certain age, you have to be involved in your children's life.
Yeah.
So I feel I'd run for council in my district, but I would not run for mayor, and respectfully leave it to the people who are really good at it, because in time of need, I saw the Pierre Font and Dollard mayor, which I currently live West Island, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
I remember. So kudos to them. I think you have to really have a team that's responsible, and I think I would love to be that eventually, but it's so far council, I'll stick to that.
Nice. So is that in the 5-10 year plan?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
I'm really, absolutely. 5 to 10 year plan is a great estimate. Yeah.
Oh my, it doesn't surprise me at all. Really, it does not surprise me, just because everything that you have done for your community and the activities and, you know, how you are with everybody. Honestly, like, from the moment that I met you years ago,
Yes.
when we first met,
I remember.
in our governing board days.
That's right.
But even then to now, it's, you know what, you are consistent with how you are with every single person. So I see how that is in your sales environment, you know, and what you do for sales.
Absolutely. Oh, you're absolutely right, and I speak to my wife a lot about that, Corinne. I talk to her exactly that. I love being consistent, and I only do this, and it's all for my daughters, because I always tell my daughter, Ashley is with, I believe, Adamo, your son, and I tell her a lot of times, Adamo, you see, like, he helped you with math and stuff, and then my daughter, and I want to show a lot of the kids in the school as well, because I'm on the governing board, it's important to be good role models. And they see through how people do things. That's how they see the people, like the way they do things from actions, and not only from words. And if yes, people say words a lot, but if you do your actions, I think it's the most for the young generation to see how you work, and even for sales, for a career, for communication, for anything, I think it's very important.
Oh, it is. I completely, and I think showing our children and younger generation, you know, the importance of hard work ethic and, you know, be good to the community, and, you know, because once you are, then they will be good to you. You know, that's hand in hand what I like to teach our children. Oh my goodness. So on to something completely else, social media. And I know, just because like you do the community and very active with your children, and then in sales, where do you see, what's your standpoint on social media in either your personal life or within your working environment? Do you use it to promote?
Very fantastic question, Corinne. And that's where we are now. So I'm on the governing board at the Dollard Center for the Arts. I'm on it as well the past 2 years. And social media is very important when you convey a message to anybody. I think in general, career, sales, communication, arts, school, anymore. Very important. It's like a vessel to communication is social media. And me as a salesman who've been around for 20 years, I find it's very important now. And I see a lot of the important, I guess, in my career, the important role models on social media. So for example, I've joined a lot recently, like the BNIs of the community, and also a lot of these sales mentors are coming out with a lot of their own groups. Yeah, for example, I really respect this gentleman named John Seelig. He's on LinkedIn, and he's called, I think he has a comedy behind the sales approach. And I think I like to see, and because I think people bring who they are from in terms of the social aspect of things, that's who I follow a lot. So I have some followers who I think are the social media gurus, and that's what I follow. I don't follow everybody. I think everyone has their own opinions, but I do follow some. And to answer your question, I think social media is very important in the sales realm as well.
And do you post, like, do you use all the different tools, or like, what's your position?
So I write articles. So in my thing on LinkedIn, if you see, I believe I have 25 articles that have been written about my industry. So not only like the icing industry, but in my previous career, I have on chemical industry, and in my industrial days, I've had articles written about them. So I like to transmit to my customers when they look on through my articles. So, and eventually I'm going to start doing like videos as well about my product. I don't think I'm ready yet. I think once I'll be more like, I think my understanding of my product is very well. It's just being comfortable in front of the camera.
It's a different take.
It's a different, exactly.
It's a different take.
Exactly. So that's eventually. I'm transparent, like I said, but in terms of my articles, I post a lot on my articles.
Nice. And now, do you share them onto groups, or do you just keep it onto your LinkedIn page?
I actually will learn how to do that. That's a great question.
I will teach you that today. I will teach you that today.
I would like to do that because I think I do have a following, not as much as other people, but I think it's important to be transparent, and when they see what you have, I think it'll be good just to other people will share, like what I share, they'll respect that.
Exactly.
In my industry, yeah.
Wow. And I think it's really good because that there's different, I was speaking to a sales professional last week, same thing, same type of career like yourself, 20 some odd years in sales, and they were talking about doing articles. For them, they were more comfortable with podcast. They did more of a podcast, but it was in conjunction together and everything. And what they were talking about was do what you're comfortable with. And really, if you're comfortable with videos, if you're comfortable with articles or post, that was what they ended up doing. So I was like, that's pretty interesting. It's really good. And when you look at all the analytics of LinkedIn and all of these different platforms, one of the things that they said is write articles. So I'm going to share on your articles on our page too.
Absolutely.
Share it on with other people. I mean, it's important to put forward. And I'm going to teach you how to do the groups.
I appreciate that a lot. And in terms of social media, do you use Twitter? Because I've heard a lot of customers ask me if I use Twitter, and I don't know if it's in the business aspect or that. I feel LinkedIn is probably the most for sales. So
you know what? I do use Twitter. We do have a Twitter feed and everything, but again, I'm same thing. Okay. For business aspect, I always like to gravitate more towards the LinkedIn. We do use Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of the feeds, but the other platforms you'll see more of a fun side, not so business heavy. So it's a very different. Wow. And do you do mentorship to other sales professionals?
I've had people asking me that.
Yeah.
I think I need more, under my belt in terms of more, I think I need more experience to that, because I think I guess I have 20 years experience, but I think it'll be much more,
robust.
Yeah, exactly. Once more, and I have more under my belt, because I think I have a lot more to achieve in sales, because I've known a lot of sales people say like, I've done what I said. There's not every day you have to learn something new, and I don't think I'm ready up until I've achieved what I think I can achieve, if you know what I mean. There's a lot more for me to achieve.
That's really interesting, especially after such an extensive career, that you're not like, I can definitely take on somebody. Wow, Kenny, I can honestly say this interview, you took me for a loop.
I'm happy.
You took me for a loop. I did not even what I expected. Really not what I expected at all. Your career history, where you started, and that truly is what Coffee with Cam is all about, is somebody like you, what you've done and where you have ended up now. And it's really passion driven, that you're passionate about your role. I don't think I've met anybody else who is more passionate about their products and representation of a great brand, and that seems as though it's the core of who you are.
I like representing, and like you said, it's about credibility, and also it's all about credibility, and like you're in the limelight, and you show people that you represent is very important to you, because you're representing your family, yourself, your friends, your social, and it's all a community. They say like it takes a village, and in my case, it does take a village.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today and having coffee with me. I really appreciate it.
Very welcome. It's great.